Welcome to the Clear Shots Podcast with Seth Skinner and Jake Jones.
Hey guys, it's Seth from Clear Shots, and today we got Dave back on the show for episode 62.
Don't give him clear shots! Don't give him clear shots! Don't give him clear shots! Don't give him clear shots!
Wait, that wasn't recorded?
Hey,
we gotta keep that
It's
in.
recorded,
We
but
gotta keep that in, you fuck.
It's
we literally
recorded.
just talked for like 6 minutes.
Shit happens.
Well, we talked about
talk for 100.
we talked
more,
about
dude.
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
talked about Brussels sprouts. We talked about dieting and shit.
I mean, we can keep it in.
Whatever.
I don't know. If
I think it'd be funnier if it's just the podcast starts and I'm just yelling.
We're back, motherfuckers. Yeah, we're back.
Isn't that
Let's
how
do
it
this.
always starts? That's how it always starts.
We
I'm pretty
were
sure.
before we started rolling. We were talking about how I'm dieting and like exercising and
Eating
stuff,
Brussels
and
sprouts,
really
yeah.
trying to dial that in.
Fucking love Brussels sprouts.
And the second I sit down, I get offered a porter beer, so that's great. But
He's like,
I
"Do you
can
want-"
afford to drink it. It's
He's like,
fine.
"Do you want some of this Hershey bar and some beer and a McChicken?"
Yeah, you can eat Burger King on your diet, right? Yeah. Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, eventually
One
I'm gonna have to,
McChicken
though,
is half of, like, more than half of that amount of
of a
calories.
day. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Like a 10-piece chicken nugget's like 1,000 or
And
1,100
then
calories.
your
or some
sodium
shit.
skyrockets.
It's all sodium. Yep.
They
Which
put so
sodium's
much
not,
sugar
like-
in their buns and shit too. McDonald's does.
Oh my god, yeah. Sodium is good in a sweet spot because you need to be hydrated.
Yeah.
Definitely need to be hydrated, and sodium helps with that. But you don't want too much, obviously.
No.
I don't. What
You
the
don't want
fuck?
too much of anything.
Everything I know about nutrition and stuff is probably more than it would seem because of my lack of utilizing that knowledge for so many years.
Yeah.
But I've just seen too much shit of like health specialists and scientists and doctors and stuff, especially on Rogan.
Yeah, he does a
where
good
it's
job
like-
of like getting people with different opinions on either side too. Like he doesn't
Yeah,
go like
he doesn't lean either way. He just goes, "You think this is real? Come explain to me why."
that's
he
part of the
have-
reason I like him so much is because he just gives them a platform and goes,
Even if he disagrees with it, he goes,
Yeah,
"Well,
yeah.
if you
here's my argument to that,
prove
and
me."
you give me your argument back. Like
Yeah.
he's just trying to make you look good.
he
really.
lets you talk and
Yeah.
shit. He doesn't fucking what's the guy's name?
Alex Jones.
Not Alex Jones.
Eddie
That's a
Bravo.
good example,
Almost-
but not Al. Not Eddie. I love Eddie.
Ben Shapiro.
No, he was a Fox News guy. He would have
Anderson
people.
Cooper.
No. The big
Carlson.
asshole guy.
Oh, Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, I
If
thought you
you
were talking
ever
about
had a
Crowder.
different opinion than Bill O'Reilly,
Because Crowder was Fox.
he would
too,
just
wasn't
cut
he?
you off.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
Yeah.
cut his mic.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Yep.
And you'd be like, what? Because I disagree?
The
Yep.
Trump attitude.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
what it is.
Yeah.
It's the shut him down kind of thing.
Yeah, the Trump attitude lines up real well with his sexual assault allegations that got him fired as well. So
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
yeah.
Oh, man. Well, we invited you on to talk about one thing,
Yeah.
and that's baseball.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
That's why baseball the TV. So you guys probably don't know this about me, but
Don't even.
but I know absolutely nothing about baseball, and I don't care about baseball.
God damn it! I thought you were
I
gonna
thought
be
you were like
I've
secretly
always
like
I thought this was about to be like
Nope.
like an NBA Live moment
No.
where he's just like, "You guys may not know, but I know a lot about baseball." Like, you
No,
just start
no.
ripping off
The
stats.
only thing I know about baseball is the controversies, like the dudes that did steroids in the 90s and early 2000s that got caught, like McGuire and Sosa and shit. But it was because in the 90s,
That's probably
when
more
we
than
were
the
kids-
average person.
It probably is actually more than, because who gives a fuck about boring ass baseball? Sorry, Gary.
Exactly.
We're all friends with Gary Carpentier. He loves baseball, and he was good and stuff. But whatever, man.
his
Fuck
brother.
baseball.
His brother's
Kevin-
a pitcher too.
Kevin
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was.
yep. I like baseball video games.
Yeah. Well,
Like
baseball
old
games
ones.
are
Yeah,
so
baseball
fun.
games are fun. Video
Super
games.
mega baseball.
I watch a lot of baseball. It's a background thing for
Sure.
me really. Like I'm not gonna sit. I can't sit and just watch the whole entire
Unless
game.
it's like a
They're
playoff
just
game.
too long, man.
Yeah, in the World Series, I'll watch
That's
the
not the
World
same.
Series.
But that's like with football. Like if you watch two shitty teams play against each other in whatever
It's
like
like, I'm
early
just-
season, it's gonna be dog shit.
You're only watching. Most people who watch football just watch their team. It's like,
Correct.
It's not
Yep.
like you're watching every fucking
watch
game.
a game where neither team is yours and they're not great.
Yeah.
And
And
but
it's
you
just
also
some long ass game, and there's no weight to it.
And there's
Everybody's
no
records are
fantasy
3-0
football.
or whatever, and no fantasy.
like you can't have any fantasy
Yeah,
players
yep.
on there.
No
either.
fantasy football
Yeah,
either.
fucking
You're not in
good
fantasy.
luck.
Have fun, dude. It's
Yeah.
every 5 minutes there's a fucking play getting reviewed or a call or some bullshit.
Somebody's injured.
Somebody's a false start.
That was
and
like
they have to
the
restart
Bills
the whole
game.
thing. Oh
Fucking
my
A,
god!
dude. The Bills game we went to half
Commercials
the time,
every 5
I was
minutes.
just looking for my vape.
Yeah, dude.
I got my
Jesus
vape
Christ.
confiscated by a security guard like 2 minutes into the fucking game.
I
You
went
literally
to a,
spent at least 3 quarters trying to get your vape back.
Dude, the game was dog shit. The Bills were down by like 30 at halftime.
They're the Bills. Of course they were going to lose.
I know, that's why we went to go
How
see
do you
it.
go into that game expecting like not 33-0?
We were
fucking-
hammered, by the way.
No, it was like
Oh
20
really?
Yeah, that's
You went and saw a sporting event live and you didn't get hammered?
yeah.
Oh, you did get hammered.
Well, I only usually get drunk at women's softball games, but I'm not allowed at the high school anymore. So
Interesting.
yeah,
That doesn't surprise me.
correlation does not equal causation.
Yeah.
So how you been, Dave?
Busy as fuck.
Solid
man.
segue.
We're doing cool shit.
Word.
We're yeah, we got a big show coming up, 420.
You're damn right.
You fuckers gonna be there?
Yeah.
When's the 420 one? Is that the one that's-
It's a week from tomorrow.
Or is it the Lost Horizon?
It's at Lost Horizon.
Okay, that's
it's
right.
a week
Oh.
from tomorrow.
Wicked. Okay, the only thing is I'm going to have to find out how to get up. My van won't make it up to
Who
Syracuse.
gives a fuck? Figure out a
That's
ride.
it. I'll
Big
have to
deal.
figure out a way up there.
If it's like even
would
remotely an
definitely-
issue, I'll get you. Just ride with me. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'll be riding up at some point. But go.
I
have
definitely-
tickets and shit. It's all good.
Yeah, like I need to see you guys soon.
I want to go really badly.
Yeah. Yeah, please do.
Yeah, we should go.
We'll square up on tickets and shit after this. It's all good. We don't have to do it on the air.
Do you have a square?
I do have a
Square
Square.
app, Square Cash.
I have the. Well, I mean, you don't even need the thing anymore. You can just use the app. And
Oh,
then
word.
we log into our account and you just type it. It's all good.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to do that.
You can literally use telekinesis.
yeah,
these days.
dude. You could text me the money for it now.
Yeah,
It's great. In Facebook, you can send somebody money.
I
and
know.
it works.
but I just don't trust Facebook with my card.
Noodle did it to
It
me.
scares the shit out of me.
Noodle, for no good reason, sent me
Sends
like
money.
$5 on there, and
Yeah.
I just took it.
You
and
can
went,
ask.
okay.
You can
And I
ask
was
for
like,
money.
Why?
You can be like, can I have $20?
I did that to Noodle in an iPhone text. I texted him just a money request, and he sent it, and it was like $25, and I didn't need it for anything. I didn't need it, but I just did it to fuck with him, and he didn't even say okay. He just sent the
just
money.
sent it.
And I was like, "What are you doing, man?" I think I sent it back to him because I was like, "You gotta not do that."
Yeah,
I might have just spent it. Who gives a fuck?
yeah. It's
gives
just
a
weird
fuck?
that you can do that.
Yeah,
I remember when-
it
It's like,
makes
yeah, bro,
sense.
you owe
it's
me-
about fucking time.
Yeah, yeah, that's
I remember it first came out when I was in college because they had Snap Cash with Snapchat.
Oh,
And that's how everybody bought drugs in college.
Yep.
Was they would
Oh,
Snap
yeah.
Cash.
Hmm.
That was it.
People buy drugs all the time with their cards using text and stuff
or like
now.
Venmo.
But that shit's sketchy because it's traceable. So like
Yeah.
say I have an iPhone and I'm going to sell weed, right? Which I obviously don't because I'm a fucking adult. But let's say I'm going to sell weed. If I'm selling you weed every fucking Friday when you get paid and you're texting me the payment,
Yeah.
that's
you're also
fucking
going-
logged. And
you're
people
also
are going to go, why is he
texting-
sending you like
yeah.
$20 every Friday?
You're also like, yeah, I'm gonna have. Can you please give me this $20 for marijuana in your text
like,
message? And
it's
then it's
ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
in the memo. It says marijuana.
Yeah, and the fucking like you're PayPaling for your weed deals. I honestly think if it was weed, probably nothing would happen actually, because I think it's so. It's getting so decriminalized
Yeah.
and like people just don't give a fuck now.
I mean, it's
that
straight
like
up
they don't
legal
care.
in so many places
yeah,
now.
and it's
that-
only gonna shockwave.
Yeah. It has to. There's no way it doesn't.
Well, that's how the world works. Though. I mean, at least that's how it works in America, right?
Yeah.
That's how
MMA worked.
there's a movement that starts somewhere that gathers enough evidence or enough strength behind it to where they're able to convince somebody on the city or state level of government to give them a chance, right? So let's say we wanted to, this is actually probably more serious than what we were just talking about, but still this makes sense. And this is how weed happened, technically, right?
Well,
because
weed just took so long.
somebody gave it a chance.
Yeah.
And what, Colorado or Washington?
California was the first
which
one.
it was Cali? Okay. Yeah. So their government, the state government went, we have an idea that we might make a lot of tax money on this, and who's it hurting? So they gave it a chance, and it proved itself to be worthwhile.
Do you mean medicinal or recreational?
I mean recreational.
I think Colorado was the first.
Colorado was the first rec, and Cali was mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we'll say Colorado went. I bet if we open legal dispensaries and sell this stuff just like you would cigarettes or alcohol, we're gonna make tax revenue income like we've never seen in American history.
Yep.
And
then, shocker, they were correct.
Yeah.
And that happens, and that's the final proof that makes all the other states go, well, what the fuck?
Why are we
We
not
want
doing
that
this?
money.
Yeah.
Because the government is still going to go, fuck you.
Yeah.
But when all the states go and start doing it themselves, it's a chain reaction. And then
The thing was,
eventually
it just
you'll
took
get a
two-
federal change and it'll all be normal.
Yeah. It
It's
just
gay
took
marriage.
a long time, though. It just took a long time to do that. We all knew, like, everybody knew what the fucking... Like, there didn't have to be that much research. We had the research
it's so
already
stupid. Yeah.
for weed.
It was just...
what it does to you, what it doesn't
It just
do
had
to
a
you.
stigma on it that was undeserved.
It had
that
a
was
stigma on it.
predicated in
Yeah.
lies.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that's a lot of, like, the older generation still believes that kind of shit because that's what they grew up with.
Yeah. But how many, do you know, do you
So
ever have conversations with 80-year-old men ever? Because I do because
Yeah.
of where I work. How many of them do you think like black people? You know what I mean?
Probably
it's fucked up to say.
12%.
It's fucked up to say.
12% maybe.
We all have grandparents and shit that we
13%,
love.
Maybe 13.
But
yeah. I'll give them 13.
you have to think about the fact that when they were 10 years old and they were sucking the world in around them for what it was, the interpretation at the time, you're talking 50s or whatever, was that was racism still, you know? There still was a ton of racism. And that's not fair because there's still racism now, but it's so much less.
Definitely
you know what I mean?
suppressed.
And
Way
it's
more.
only ever going to get easier and easier because as unfortunately this is like bleak way to look at it, but it's the reality, as old people with old shitty views die, younger people with less shitty views become the old people that have the shitty views of the modern opinion. And then they die and it only gets more and more reasonable, and it just takes generational movement. That's it, man.
Yeah, that's a big thing because
it's why in 2 generations our grandparents are going to be people that have smoked weed their whole lives and go, what the fuck were we thinking 50 years ago? Why?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that's just how it works, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that you see a lot of these.
But our kids are gonna be like, dude, what? Like we've been doing.
Our kids
meth
are gonna be
for,
doing like acid.
We've been
They're
doing
gonna have
meth and we're
recreational-
fine.
You guys used to not do meth. How did you
How
get?
did you?
You
not
guys
do this?
don't. Wait, acid was illegal when you guys were like even adults. How did you get into the other dimension?
How were you?
How'd you get there?
Yeah.
There was another way, and we
how'd you
go.
see the
We
praying
just
mantis?"
didn't, man. We just didn't. We didn't know. And
How
we're
did
like,
you guys not
so
do
you
Happy
guys-
Shaman? All
When
the
did
time?
you meet him? When did you meet God? And we're just like,
Dude, I didn't.
that wasn't a thing until we were in our 50s.
I didn't
like,
lose my G card till I was 40.
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't meet God until I was in my 50s.
Dude, have you seen
And they
that
lived
guy?
their whole life having
the pop
done that.
locking dude that fucking keeps yelling Jesus Christ and he's doing like this fucking dance and shit. Dude.
Nope.
How have you not seen that shit?
Is he
I need
just,
to pull that
just
up. dude.
complete derailment?
It's Jesus Christ.
We
dude.
knew this was going to be a doozy
I
because
was-
we're settled in now.
I was gonna say like, it's like a lot of people that are part of a lot of these different movements. They want it to happen right away, and
yeah, it
literally-
doesn't work
can't-
like
it
that.
can't work
It doesn't
like
work
that.
like that.
You literally type in Jesus Christ and it's like one of the first ones.
Forward momentum takes time. Yes. It's not that easy.
This guy's the shit, dude.
Oh, I've seen this. This guy's incredible. Yep.
Dude, he's so good.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck is he reading?
Which is the word of God, Jesus Christ.
Why are you pop locking?
Dude, he goes so hard for Jesus.
He's reading, assumably he's reading actual like passages from the Bible.
Yeah.
And he interprets this as it's time to pop and lock.
We love you, God.
Is that him like metaphorically ripping off his shirt or something?
Yeah.
I think so.
Like,
Dude, he does it like
Hulking out.
he does it like
Does
like
he pick up
live
the
and
book
shit.
at any point?
He set it down.
Oh, you gotta
Dude, people
be kidding
love
me.
him.
No way.
He's got like a whole routine and shit.
Of course he does. Well, so this guy is like, I thought that he was maybe autistic or something. And without no offense meant or anything, he just something seemed like it wasn't legit.
Yeah,
but
like-
actually, he's a genius
Yeah.
because he went. I did this stupid ass shit online and it blew up. Time to make a fucking money train come. And there's a crowd going ape shit. Yeah, I wonder how much they paid him for this.
I
Dude,
feel
he's
like
in like an arena.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's one of those-
okay.
Oh,
It's like
it's
a
just like-
it's like a
One of those
amphitheater
mega
or something.
churches.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, of course, duh. Of course, it's a mega church.
Have you
yeah.
seen that shit?
It's pretty hyped,
No,
though.
that's
You gotta
Yes.
admit.
I would like.
It's pretty hyped.
It's
yeah.
pretty-
I would
fucking
go
hype.
to. I would go to one of those just
what
for
I
like
mean, dude.
one Sunday. Just go to a mega church and just check it out.
Oh man, mega
Imagine
churches.
how crazy that shit is. Fucking arenas that can hold like
Yeah.
10,000 people just for Jesus.
Yeah.
For-
But you don't need
for
any other
me-
churches, though. You know, if you have one mega church, you don't need any other churches.
Yeah,
That's what I
true.
mean.
for me, you don't. One of the biggest problems with organized religion for me, because it's not the belief in God or a higher power or whatever. But one of the biggest problems I have with organized religions like Catholicism, Christianity, whatever, right, is, I mean, especially with fucking Catholicism or whatever, you have the glaring issue with pedophilia and
Well,
child
yeah.
sexual abuse.
I feel like that's
That's
not
just
good.
not debatable.
Yeah.
It's long proven, and it's openly known that they're protecting them.
Mm-hmm.
That they go, we'll give you shelter in the Vatican so you can live the rest of your life comfortable instead of in a hellhole getting raped and shit where like you deserve for fucking touching boys
Yeah.
who trusted you with the word of God.
Yeah.
And you're
Islam
going to
is
take
crazy,
it.
too.
So to me, it's like, if you believe, if you're a Catholic, to me, if you're a Catholic and you don't support child fucking, but you find out that your organization that you believe and you follow blindly, no matter what, is into fucking kids, and it's not debatable, they are.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
and you continue to follow them, then you are supporting child pedophilia, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, clearly.
And it's your responsibility to go, I'm going to check out on Catholicism as a whole. That doesn't mean you're checking out on God or your belief in the higher
That's
power.
the thing I
but
have
you
the most
cannot
problem with.
follow that organized
Yes.
religion ever again, or you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. Don't I
At
think
least that's my
the,
view.
The issue is when you follow
There's just no
something
way
and,
around
like,
it.
you can't have all those beliefs exactly the same that
Yeah.
line up with you.
So why-
Like,
how
you're
can you follow
definitely-
it then?
You're definitely molding yourself to fit that prototype that they're setting out for
You're
you.
giving up. In order to
Yeah.
follow an organized religion,
You have to.
you have to give up things that you believe are right
Yeah.
to your core, and you deny them
And a
because
lot of
they
things
don't
you
line up
shouldn't
with
have
what
to
they're
give up.
telling you.
Yeah.
Even though it's stupid.
Right.
It's just it's ridiculous. Just live.
Well,
man.
also, it's like,
I don't
what the
get it.
fuck? Like, these churches don't even pay taxes and shit. It's like,
Yep.
they're
Well, that's
exempt
the
from these
biggest
things.
thing is so I brought up the sexual assault stuff first because it's the biggest smoking gun.
Yeah.
But the second smoking gun is, I know all we're trying to do is open you up to faith and to belief in God, but
Not really.
I'm going to need some money. And by money, I mean, we're going to do everything we do in order to generate wealth,
Yeah.
not pay taxes because we're a religion, so we don't have to for no good reason. And now we're going to open all these MAGA churches and everybody's driving Lamborghinis and shit. But it's all for God.
But God needs
it's
money.
all
though.
for God,
He
though,
needs money.
right?
How's God
It's
gonna
so
keep up? Like,
stupid.
he's gotta, heaven's probably, it costs a lot,
And the
Heaven
reality
probably
is
costs a
if
lot
there
to run.
was actually a God and he came down and judged anybody, he would judge them the worst.
Yeah.
He'll go, you don't believe? That's no big deal. I gave you free will to not believe. Fine.
Yeah.
You, motherfucker, you're saying you do, and you're spreading everything I don't agree with, and you're taking advantage of these people.
Right.
And that's scum.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is the biggest thing is they're taking advantage of people, and they know they are.
And that's the biggest problem with organized religion. Right. It's not the people that believe it.
Right.
It's not our grandparents who probably 99%
that's
of them
the thing
are all
is like if
Catholics
you choose to believe all that stuff, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not there's nothing wrong with the person that believes it. There's something wrong with the person that gets into the actual orchestrated system as in a position of power.
They don't see it for what it is.
And every
either.
time, every one of them, they use it to be abusive instead.
Right.
Because that's all it's ever for.
Yeah, instead of seeing it for what it is, they just see it as like what they have to do. It's sort of they're brainwashed into what they have.
Exactly, yeah. And I've seen people really, really, really close to me that I'm not going to get into on here, that I've been friends with my whole life, that have gotten sucked into that. And I've seen views that they know in their heart of hearts to be correct.
But look,
go to the wayside because they have to fall in line.
If it makes you, if that's what you, I don't know. I guess some people are just, that's what they want to do. If they end up being comfortable with it, then that's their prerogative, you know.
Sure,
but
and
they should also realize what they're in, you know.
Absolutely.
I think there's
it's just
look at it.
If you have to ignore reality to continue to do and that, then fuck religion, fuck anything. This is broad spectrum life shit here. If you are doing anything in life where you have to ignore what you know is reality in order to continue down that path, that might not be the right path. Like, for example, me with my dieting history. If I know eating shit pizza and fucking burgers every day is not good for me, there is no lying to myself to tell myself I'm going to be fine, I'm going to be healthy, it's all good.
Yeah.
That's fucking fake, and I know it. And anything I say to the counter of that, I know in the back of my head is not true. And I'm just trying to tell myself it is to spare myself the actual workload of the reality, which is you just have to stop doing that.
Exactly.
It's the problem with body positivity. It's not that it's wrong to feel comfortable in your own skin, but it's objective scientific fact, whether anybody likes it or not, that heavy obesity, not being a little overweight, whatever, when you're straight up obese, like I'm 5'2" and I weigh 300 pounds, that's not healthy. No matter how you want to try to spin it. The obesity
scale is weird too.
And in the back of your head, you're going to know it's not, but you don't want to do the work to exercise and diet. Yeah. You just want to keep doing what you're doing now, but find some loophole where you can feel good about yourself. Well, I mean,
yes.
And I get it.
Get into grooves. They don't want to change. They don't want to
change. You don't want to change. You're scared
change
of
is always fucking, you know, it's somewhat difficult, especially like when it's a lifestyle change like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that's just is the reality. That's not even opinion.
And really, it's like people think you have to go jog for fucking 4 miles a day. No, you don't. You just have to eat better.
Fucking eat less. Eat stuff that's not, that you know isn't extreme shit for you. And then eat slower, because that's going to result in eating less.
You're supposed to.
Because you'll get full at the proper time. And that's always been a big problem for me. Yeah. And then just do some shit. Walk on a treadmill for a mile a few times a week or something.
But even it's way more fun to just get a large pepperoni pizza and just wolf it down.
Because we live in a society that pushes you to do it.
Also, we can, and it's cheap to do so.
Yes, it's cheap. It's available.
I have a problem with the people that eat and eat and eat and eat, and then they're not even obese. They're like morbidly debilitating, you know.
Debilitating.
But then all of a sudden it's like they go to the doctor and the doctor's like, "Oh, you're so fat that you're going to die within the next 6 months.
Yeah. You're gonna
unless you lose all this weight." And then 3 months goes by and they're like, "Oh, you gained more weight? Here's what we'll do. We'll use taxpayers' money because you don't have the insurance for it. Yep. We're going to let you get gastric bypass surgery or a tummy tuck or liposuction, whatever it is. Yeah. And then you can lose all the weight. But here's the kicker. in a year, you're probably going to gain it back, and then you're going to try and get the surgery again. And if you do get the surgery again, you might die or get really sick. And then you're basically fucked. And like it puts so much stress on people. I know quite a few people that have had it done. Mm-hmm. I would say I probably know. Off the top of my head, I would say about 7 or 8 people that have had the surgery done, the gastric bypass or whatever.
I know a few.
I think it worked for one person. I know.
I know a couple.
I think it worked for one person.
No,
the first time.
The only person I know that had it is my aunt, and it worked really well for her. But the thing is, you start to get you can't eat it as much.
No,
that's really the problem.
No, you
could kill yourself.
So you could end up going to the other end of the spectrum and fucking not get enough nutrition because you can't physically.
Yeah,
eat.
It's not so dangerous to do.
But this is the thing. The ultimate reality we're talking about, and it has to do with the body positivity thing and a lot of other stuff. Is this? It's that in life there is no easy way to be who you really want to be. If you want to be a good person, you want to look good. Like, we live in a society, in a world where people want people to find them attractive. Why would you not want that? You're a human. Of course you do. But there's some objective truths to what's attractive that are not societal. They're just in our DNA. Like, if I see a girl with big hips, I'm into that. Just because my body's going, she probably makes kids well.
Right.
And that's just a fact. That's not debatable. So because of that, and there's other stuff. There's tons of other stuff too. And they go both ways. That's not targeting women. I'm saying I know plenty of guys that they eat shit only. They don't do jack shit to work out. They're eating probably 3,000 calories a day. And then they lie to themselves and tell themselves that they're probably fine. Everything's going to be fine. It's all good.
But
and
that's
it's
because
like,
most people
that's not true.
Most people don't go to the doctor enough to know that. Shit.
But you don't even have to go to the doctor to just look up for 5 minutes, Google modern health science.
I think people do need someone to tell them though.
Yeah.
Like, this is the reality of what's you're doing right now.
I'm guilty of it. That's what I'm trying to change now.
Right.
But I did that for years. I would just eat what I wanted and I'd go, but that's what I want to eat.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't give a fuck how I looked
because you don't see any repercussions at all at the time.
Yep. And then when you do, it's a long path. You know, I'm not saying it's easy or that there's anything wrong with, like, for example, somebody's fat and they want to feel good about themselves, but they don't. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with wanting that. What is inherently like it doesn't make you a shit person, but what's inherently the wrong move is
to do nothing about
lying about it to yourself or to the people around you instead. It's saying, I'm sexy, even though I'm 300 pounds, I am sexy, and you have to treat me like I'm sexy, so I feel good about myself. But in reality, everybody involved in that little charade knows they're not sexy and knows they're not healthy, and that what they should do is look themselves in the mirror and go, I've got to make a change.
Yeah, instead they're just...
But that's hard.
They're enabling them to continue.
It's too hard.
Everything in life that's worth having and that has the most value...
has blonde hair and blue eyes.
No shortcuts. Hard to get to.
Yeah.
There's a reason why everybody doesn't have a fucking six-pack and shit.
There's a reason why not everybody has beaten Dark Souls.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Well, there's definitely anomalies like internet stars and shit where they don't really have any talent and they happen to catch a wave.
Yeah,
but
they're called the Jenners and the fucking Kardashians.
Yes, but
no skill sets.
But you also have to ride the wave once you catch it.
That's where they're smart.
Like,
that's where they're
you have to be able to ride the wave. And I think that's
Mega Church. Yep.
That guy, fucking for sure. Mm-hmm. He saw the opening and he was like, "I'm going to go with it."
Yeah, the sack to take it.
Yeah, you have to go with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're just a pop locking.
And good on them. And good on him. Yeah. I respect anybody who does anything, even if it's stupid, but it opens a doorway to success, and they see that and go, "I'm in."
Yeah.
I'm not missing that shit.
Hell, if he can
Instantly,
fucking,
I have
he
respect
probably
for you.
loves pop locking, you know.
Yep.
It's like the dude,
Now he
and
gets to go.
and he loves
now he
Jesus.
went from pop locking in his assumably double wide trailer in southern Florida to now he's in mega churches, probably getting paid stacks to do the exact same thing.
Yes. He
dude changed nothing.
He's living
now
the
he's
dream.
drinking staff.
He's
changed
living
the
the dream,
game.
honestly.
Yep.
He changed
the game.
He did.
Dude, sure.
He's a pioneer of mega church entertainment.
And he's doing it all for Jesus too.
It makes me think of like fucking like the Catch Me Outside girl,
right?
And just basically all.
That's the greatest.
Who is this? Oh, it's my
But
grandpa.
no, you're 100%. You're dead on, man. The Catch Me Outside girl
And like
saw an opportunity.
We talked about this with Christian. That's actually a clip. Like a lot of basically all of pop and hip hop nowadays is one person that made one song that was catchy, really, really catchy for at least a week. Had to be really, really catchy for at least a week, maybe a month. And then they get grabbed on by a company, a label. And they pump out a fucking pop song a month for 8 months to a year. And then if people are still kind of talking about them after a year, then they keep going. But then when people fall off nowadays and I guess mainstream music, they're gone.
They're gone.
They are out of sight, out of mind.
There's no
it happens
coming back,
it happens
dude.
so quick
hard
too.
to
Like I didn't even know that people like Nicki Minaj or Katy Perry or whoever still made music.
Mm-hmm.
They do. You just don't hear about it because you were hearing about.
It's because they were never that great to begin with. So like they are like this middle tier. So if they're not constantly getting pushed, it's like wrestling. It's like if you're fucking Bo Dallas and you keep getting a push, everybody knows who Bo Dallas is when they're watching wrestling. But all of a sudden when he falls off, nobody thinks about Bo Dallas being missing because he was a mid-card guy.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck.
You know, in like a 5-minute bit on Raw every fucking week.
Yep.
It's like the
now
week,
you haven't seen him in 6 months.
Yeah, now the 1 week that he's not there, you don't notice it, and then the week after you still don't notice it, and then fucking
even
a
if
couple
he
months
comes back,
later,
you don't notice.
Yeah,
you don't care.
A couple months later, you're like, oh shit, where
what
the fuck
happens
is he
tomorrow if Becky Lynch is off TV for the next 2 months, unannounced, no good reason? She's the double champ,
right?
And now she's not on TV. Yeah. Everyone's gonna go, what in the fuck?
Yes.
Where is Becky? You're gonna get Becky chance every night, regardless of the show.
Yeah.
It's going to be wildfire.
That's true.
I'll clarify this real quick to finalize my previous point about the body positivity shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because I understand that that's a bleak outlook on it. My final statement on that is if you don't feel good about yourself, regardless of how you look, if you don't feel good about yourself, I'm with you. You should feel good about yourself. You should. And if you're fat or you're whatever it is, and you're not comfortable in your own skin, you should be doing things to try to be comfortable. But also, one of those things should be acknowledging reality and working towards getting where you actually want to be. That's all I have to say.
That's the biggest thing to me.
Yeah, that's the reality.
Is saying like, oh, I have this imperfection, I have this imperfection, but
own them.
This is
and then work on them.
That's the biggest thing. Instead of even if you don't want to change it, fuck it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
You only have one life, man. There's only one chance. Yeah. And you're not getting any younger, and time's not moving any slower.
Yes.
So what are you waiting around wasting time for?
Yeah.
Fucking do it now.
Yeah.
Like Shia LaBeouf, man. Fucking do it.
Yeah.
It is not getting any slower or easier.
Just try it
It's
out.
only going to get harder. You got to just do it. And that's what I'm saying is like, if you're a girl somewhere or a guy somewhere and you're 300 pounds, you should go get that new haircut or that new shirt or whatever that makes you feel good. You should do that stuff. The body positivity is good for that. But where it's bad is if you utilize that as your only answer. Like, I'm okay now when you know you're not.
Yeah.
Instead, just slowly chip away and make goals and work on yourself. You just got to work on yourself because every day that goes by that you're not is a wasted day where you could have.
Yeah, I think people also just care too much about what everyone else is thinking.
They just want people to think, and that's the biggest thing I see, especially around here in Oswego, that just kills me, is people want to act a certain way behind closed doors and then don't want a reputation for that, and they want an image on social media and on the outside world of how people think they are. And they're so worried
I think it happens just about everywhere, just because that's how social media is.
Absolutely, I don't mean to single out Oswego, although fuck Oswego, this place is a shit dump.
Well, that's why.
But
dude, there was
it's not just Oswego though; it's everywhere in the world. Yeah,
there was a fucking
that's a big
plane
problem.
crash in Fulton the other day.
Yeah, dude, I watched the news report and I laughed so hard during the news report.
That's so unreal.
Of one line.
I had to go to class. I had to drive through Fulton like 45 minutes after it happened.
Jesus,
there was so much traffic.
That's so funny.
It was crazy. The guy's okay. The guy's fine. Which is amazing.
What even happened?
It'd be
to
a
him?
lot less
he went
funny
to
if he was
land.
killed.
He went to land.
Still funny.
It's
it'd
still
be
pretty
wicked funny still, but not as. Yeah,
We're on the same page. Yeah.
we are. Yeah,
A plane crash is always funny no matter what.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a ha 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 good joke. It's like a oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
Oh, a fucking plane crash.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like somebody like dropping
You know?
a gallon of milk on accident and it scratches everywhere.
Yeah.
Except it's a
shitty.
plane. Yeah.
But you can't help but react like, no way.
But like I laughed wicked hard. I don't remember. I think it was News Channel 9 we were watching the report of, my mom and I, yesterday. And they're like, yeah, the plane crashed, yada yada. And the closing statement, he goes, well, guys, I guess we learned a lesson today. If you're gonna crash a plane, whether on purpose or on accident, you might as well do it in front of the ambulance center. And he fucking moves stage right, and behind him in the shot the whole time was the ambulance center in Fulton. And we fucking lost it.
I thought he was going to say in Fulton.
Amazing.
He stood perfectly still for the entire report just for that last
Just
line.
for the payoff. Oh, man,
I laughed so hard. My mom's like, that's so awful. I go, that's genius.
Yeah,
like,
I
that
love
is
that.
something out of a fucking movie.
Yeah, it is.
You don't do the news like that in fucking Central New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they had
I wonder what
interviewed a
went
guy.
wrong, though. Like, I wonder what he fucking...
He was trying to land the plane and he hit a power line.
Yeah, but where was he trying to land the plane?
On the road.
How do you hit a power line? It was a primary. It wasn't like a fucking transmission line or something. He landed like 4th Street or some shit.
Yeah, he was trying to land in the road.
Why?
I don't know.
What?
I fucking watched the thing, dude. He was flying, he lost power in his engine or whatever, and then he tried to land it, and as he was trying to land it, he hit a power line or something.
He's like, oh,
I
there's
love
4th
that.
Street right here. Duncan's only a couple blocks away. I'll land right here.
No.
Like,
he was
what the
trying to
fuck?
land. He lost power and then tried to land. It wasn't that he was trying to land on the road and lost power.
I see.
Yeah. I probably phrased it backwards, but
Man, still,
they
if you hit,
interviewed
like,
a guy.
If you hit primary, like you better hope that shit doesn't come down, and because that shit's fucking still live.
That's pretty
So, like,
crazy, though.
yeah.
It
Like
was
if
fine,
you
too.
step out, like I've been learning this in class too. If you get in if you hit a pole and a wire comes down, do not get out of your car.
Hell
Because
no.
the second you touch the ground and your car at the same time, you're the source.
Torched,
like you're
bro.
going, like you're the path to ground for the electricity.
Yeah, you're popping like a fucking
Yeah.
balloon.
You can get out of your car, but you have to hop.
You're
like,
laughing so
I
fucking
love
hard.
it. Yeah, and I
you're
love
supposed
that
to hop with 2 feet together, like a bunny,
Yep.
and hop away, just so there's like less surface.
What you're
area and shit.
actually supposed to do
is not
stay
get
in
out
your
of the car.
car
Yes.
and wait it out
Yeah.
and
Until your
possibly
car
call the
sets on
cops.
fire.
You guys to stay in your car, because if you get out of your car, you're either gonna get electrocuted
yeah.
or Bayheim's gonna run you over.
Yeah. Exactly. Especially if it's raining.
Just stay in your car. Dude.
Yeah, dude. Jake always talks to me
Yeah, every
about weird shit that happens. My brother Jake.
I know. I always.
Yeah, I know you knew, but yeah, not this motherfucker.
It's
My
the
brother
third-
Jake.
third
so Jake, Jake went to college for physics for a long time, and then now he's going for engineering or whatever. But he's the smartest motherfucker I've ever known by a million miles, and he knows a lot of weird shit. And he knows a lot of weird shit about like space and like nature and
black
stuff.
hole.
Just science, just name it. He knows a lot about it. That's his deal,
Yeah.
And so I always ask him weird questions, and I asked him about like volcanoes once, just like, dude, what would happen if you actually touched lava or whatever? And he was like, the thing is,
It's fucking scary.
he's like, the thing is that if you fell into lava, how hot it is and how hard it would instantly light your body, you would just pop. He's like, your whole body would just pop like a fucking
you
balloon.
wouldn't feel it.
You wouldn't even know what happened.
Well, you know,
and I was like, wait, you wouldn't light on fire? And he's like, you would have been on fire way before
Yeah.
you ever made it to the lava. You're on fire.
How about
Once you
don't-
hit the lava,
Yeah.
it's just like,
How
and
about
you're
just
gone.
don't get near lava?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah,
Like,
don't go near the fucking lava. is
people
the
think
answer.
that also lava is like a liquid like water. No,
No.
it's molten rock.
It's rock.
So you
literally-
land on it, you don't sink in it. You are being like griddled alive.
Yeah.
Well, but apparently you're not, because
Well, yeah,
you land
yeah.
on it and go vanished.
Yeah,
You're
that's
you're
what I meant
gone.
to say.
Yeah.
When you're
Immediately
when you're
gone.
3 feet within,
yeah.
when you're one standard deviation away from the lava,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
cooked, man.
I mean, if you're falling into lava, you might as well just. I mean, what do you do?
That's the way to commit
You
suicide.
figure
is
out
put a
how
bunch of
far the
lava.
far is, how much time you have, and you attempt to jerk off
Yeah.
in the fall or something, because it's over.
Yeah,
It is over. So you just go, fuck, I'm gonna light on fire. I better fucking
At least
the dick
rub one
comes
out.
out.
Yeah.
Like,
Dick out
hope I
immediately.
can, whatever. Like, you might as well.
I'd fuck the lava.
You pull your butt out and spread it and be like, if
Maybe
anybody
you can
sees
suck
this,
up all
they're
the
gonna see
lava.
this before I die.
Maybe if you were traveling fast enough, if you were traveling quick enough, you could hit the lava. You know, like if you were at like full
If you
speed,
got
like jumping off the
rocketed
Empire
down
State
into
Building
it
or some
something,
shit.
You would probably still just
You just
Lava is
straight
fucking
died
scary,
into
man.
the lava and disappeared.
lava scares the shit out
Lava
of me.
is
Yeah.
because that's underneath
It's
everything.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're like a fucking gobstopper.
yeah.
Or no. We're like
Oh
a.
yeah.
a
I mean,
Reese's
you
No
gotta-
way.
You gotta.
Oh, that was garbage. Nope.
Is that a
Fail.
milk carton.
So this TV has just baseball that nobody cares about playing right now. But I look over and a guy, it was a news reporter out in the parking lot, and a dude's hat dropped over, so he tried to throw a hat up to him, and he missed by a mile. And the guy was like, "No!" reaching for his hat.
It's funny because like when you watch a baseball game, that kind of shit happens during the broadcast, and it's like more entertaining than the game
Correct.
sometimes.
Correct. Yep. That's correct.
Like there was a beehive in the Angels game the other day, like out in
What?
like left field or some shit.
That's amazing.
Like half of the
So the groundskeepers at the court,
He's,
they're
like, out there
immediately
trying to-
fired, instant fired,
yeah,
which I love that stuff too.
like the fucking crowds like clearing out and shit.
Do you like watching people get hurt and stuff?
Badly.
Did you see?
It's possibly my favorite
Did
thing.
you see? You might have. It was an international gymnastics competition this past weekend.
Nope.
This girl broke both of her legs at the same time trying to do a jump.
Oh boy,
I got it.
I'm gonna have to see that. Yeah.
He's like, "Don't worry, I have it saved."
Yeah. Anytime I see people get hurt, I can't not watch it. It's not that I like it.
Yeah,
I just can't look away,
right.
and I have to see all those
As
clips.
long as I know they didn't die, then I feel a little weird.
Even when they
about it.
die, I don't give a fuck.
I'll still watch it if they die, but I feel like
It gets to me.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
This
It
sucks
gets to
'cause
me.
she
I'm
had
gonna have to see it though.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I gotta see it.
Apparently, she had to retire. She was a senior.
Oh.
She was a senior gymnastics competitor for Auburn University.
This is about to torch me. I know it.
You're gonna laugh so fucking
Oh,
hard.
God. I doubt I'm gonna laugh. I'm probably just gonna
So
be
good.
like, "What? The
It's so
fuck?"
good. She's still hot. She's fine. She's still gonna have a degree. She's okay.
This girl snaps both her legs.
Yeah.
Are you talking like knee
Dude,
hyperextension? Because that's the worst.
No, yeah.
Oh. Yep, she's in tears now. That's wicked bad. Yep. That didn't look like a knee hyperextension though. Like it did, you know what I mean? But it looked a lot worse.
Damn, dude, because like that is like
Yeah, your gymnastics career is over. Of course it is.
Oh
You just
my
broke
God.
both your. So it looks like not a knee hyperextension. It looks like the top of. Jesus Christ! It's a knee
Yeah, it's like-
hyperextension.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's over. Yeah, you're not. You're done doing gymnastics.
you showing it again.
Let's see how high she climbs right here.
It definitely just comes out.
Jesus
Like,
Christ! The worst I've ever seen is still always going to be Sid Vicious in WCW.
Yeah.
The Sin
Off the
pay-per-view,
top
the
rope
big
with the
boot off
fucking-
top rope. Who, fatherfucker? How are you that dumb, Sid? It doesn't matter what guy in the back, what producer or whatever
Yeah.
is going, man, you really got to diversify your moveset. You should try to do a big boot off the middle rope. And,
Yeah.
and the second they say that to you, you've got to think, if you're not a dumbass, you've got to think, Jumping off the top rope. Okay. I'm
On
7
to
foot tall.
One leg.
Shoot height 7 foot tall. Definitely steroided and do over 300 pounds, so I know my bones are compromised already.
Yeah.
And I just have a prior history of bad leg stuff because I'm that tall and weigh that much and do steroids and shit. And he wrestles, so you know he's beaten up.
Yeah.
And then
For
he goes,
sure he's already injured.
You know what? Yeah, fuck it. We're going to do a big boot off the top so that I'm going to put my big ass, 7 foot tall, 300 plus pound frame on my one already compromised leg. That's going to pan out.
He's like, it's going to look really good. I mean, it did, I guess.
For me, I think the only type of clip that I watch more of than people getting hurt and stuff like that is the precise second that somebody's career ends. Like compilations of the second you see somebody's career end. I love that.
I feel bad laughing as hard as I did. I wasn't laughing at the video. I was mostly laughing at like you two were literally like, oh yeah. We'll get a chuckle, and immediately I'm like, yeah, she breaks both of her legs at once. You're like, oh, and I'm like, this will be good. This is gonna be good.
And that was much worse than I expected.
Yeah, right.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Brutal,
those, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to see it's. I don't want people to get hurt, but if they get hurt, I'm gonna have to see it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to see it. That's
it's
all
like
there is
it's
to
like
it,
a crash
you
in
know?
NASCAR.
I just
It feels weird.
Why
it feels
do people,
weird if you don't
know?
see it. Like it feels weird if you hear about it and then
we're conditioned for that because the three of
we're
us
so desensitized
like
to
the
that.
plane crash in Fulton. It's like you would if there was footage of it.
UFC and stuff. So
Yeah,
like,
WWE,
that's
UFC,
it.
you just see injuries all the time.
Yeah.
Well, but like
NFL,
with the plane
NASCAR,
crash, it's like if there was footage of that, you would.
Oh,
want to see
we
it.
already watched it. Yeah,
You'd
we
be like,
watched
well,
it.
I have to. Yeah, like I have to see it. Like there's no.
It's the same reason why if you go on YouTube and you type in 9/11, every clip is like crash footage. The live footage of
It's
the
all
planes
live
hitting.
footage,
Because you want to see the
You want to
action.
see raw
can't look
footage,
away.
but the
And
raw
that's
footage.
fucked. That's one of the worst things that's ever happened in our lifetimes. You know,
But the raw footage is always
at least that's one of the worst
a
things
dude
that's
with
happened
Parkinson's.
to the United States. That's
In our
pretty
life-
narrow-minded
yeah,
to say
pretty-
that's one of the
pretty-
worst things that's
In the-
ever
in
happened
the
since
U-
we've been alive.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest
Yeah,
bad thing that's
here.
happened in the States
Here,
since
for
we've been
sure,
alive.
yeah.
Sure. There's places like in the Middle East where it's just war 24/7.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's the place where like
children getting their heads cut off and shit.
yeah,
It's
and
the
they're like,
worst.
oh,
Fuck that.
somebody told me you're gay. Okay, we're gonna throw rocks at you till you die.
Till you're dead.
because that's the law.
And your own family found out you're gay.
Yeah.
So now while we're throwing rocks at you, they're chasing you down and they just have fucking hatchets
Cleavers and shit.
and they're coming, and that's your own mother.
Yep.
But she found out you're gay, and that's unacceptable because whatever God you believe in said so.
Yep.
So now you're dying.
Yep. That's where it's crazy,
Yep.
man. Like, imagine, Catholicism, we're going back just for this bit. Because,
Well, doesn't China do that now too? They kill certain genders because they
feel
don't.
like I
they're
just saw that in the
overpopulated
news.
and shit, and they don't want.
well, they
some-
also
Oh,
have
they-
concentration camps, but nobody's talking about that.
Yeah, no
either.
one wants to talk about that. But they
We're not going to.
I don't want to get
I don't
into
wanna
that
get
either.
into it
I don't
at
know
all.
enough about
No,
it.
me
I don't know
neither.
enough.
I just
about
know
it to get into
I saw concentration, and I was like, well, they're already good enough in school, so
it.
yeah, they're
it's
focused.
got to be a camp.
Focused camp.
I feel like, but what we were talking about with like seeing clips of people dying and stuff, seeing a career end is a lot better for me because nobody's really getting hurt. Maybe a guy's livelihood's ruined, but he earned it 100% because all he had to do was not say the N-word on live TV.
Yeah.
or
Oh,
some
you're
shit,
talking
you know what
about
I mean?
that. Yeah.
I'm saying
Okay.
a career ending. I mean, an injury, like her gymnastic career is over, but that was fucked. You know, that's just her knees are blown. She fucked a maneuver up and now her career's over. So yeah, of course I'm going to laugh at it, but it was fucked up. I'm talking about when a news guy on the air is like, I fucking hate faggots.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he's like, oh, we're live. And you see that look in his eyes of, I'm fired. I'm
that's
ruined
it.
forever.
Ball
Yep.
game.
I love that shit
Wrap it
because
up.
that guy's an idiot and that's what he gets.
Yeah.
That's what he gets. He was a shit person behind the scenes,
mean,
and it got exposed.
He was asking for it really.
Yep. Anytime a UFC fighter, decently breaking news past couple days, we can talk about this. TJ Dillashaw is fucking done.
Yep.
He's done. His career is tarnished forever. EPO, man.
Yeah.
fucking O. And an undeniable advantage, a big one. And one of the great fighters of our time.
That's the thing, though. It's like
beloved champion, a great fighter. I had so much respect for the guy. I love his body of work. But they went back and they ran tests for Cejudo, which is fair because of course he failed for that. And they went, well, we have this sample from the second Cody fight. They ran that, and that tested positive for EPO, right. Which means who knows how long this fucking guy has been knowledgeably cheating by not really abusing, but using, and I'm sure under supervision and everything, the way you should.
That's the thing, is using EPO. It's always going to be there, dude. They're always going to find ways to bypass the tests that are happening. Like, no matter how fucking strict the tests get. And when the tests get too strict, now you're getting guys for shit that they're not even really doing that's giving them an advantage.
And that's like some of the debate around the John Jones controversy, which I kind of check out on because
I don't get the whole pulsing thing. That's what I don't understand.
I don't understand the science behind it, so I can't really come to a full judgment on it other than my base point that rubs me the wrong way with Jones is if you're having steroids pulsing in your system, how'd they get there ever to begin with?
Right.
So you're saying openly you cheated and did steroids at some point.
Yeah.
Well, then right off the bat, you're done for me. Because we know of guys who, in my opinion, are greater, more accomplished champions, even though they never beat John Jones, who are very much clean. Daniel Cormier. Yeah. You know? Why doesn't he have steroid pulsing?
Brendan Schaub was talking about,
I don't get it.
Like, he I don't know, how far back do you really go for these kind of things?
And that's a good point.
And
I agree with him on that. Maybe go after it now. Yeah. But what are you going to go back to Chael Sonnen versus Silva 1 for no good reason to go, let's run them for EPO just to see.
Yeah.
Why?
Do you start like testing like GSP and shit for
don't fuck with history that's way long in the back end.
Right.
But if it's relevant now, you know, like they tested him for it for some reason. So I'm assuming, and I don't know all the details, obviously, but I'm assuming if they even thought, because they said openly that to test for EPO, it's a specific extra test they have to do.
Yeah.
Which means that, well, think of it this way. Why did they think to test him for it?
Well, why did they think to test it to the old sample in the first place, though?
Well, I'll get to that. So why would they think to test it for Cejudo? Why would USADA say, let's test him for EPO for this?
Somebody ratted him out.
It's either somebody ratted him, which is sketchy because Jones,
they caught a whiff of something,
openly cut a deal with USADA.
Didn't Cody straight up say that that TJ taught them how to shoot up at one point?
Yeah,
or knew a guy. I don't know.
He's always hated him. But the point is this is obviously speculation, but Jones got cut a crazy deal on his steroid stuff with USADA in order to be allowed to fight and come back again because he signed an agreement saying that he would inform.
Yeah,
like that's open. That's public knowledge now. So it's like, did maybe he say to them behind closed doors, start looking for EPO?
It's just weird that they have an athletic commission that's not their own. Like, because if you think about it, like Major League Baseball,
it's better that they don't.
Yeah,
and
it's audited, isn't it?
It is, but it's also not at the same time.
It is.
It's just weird to me. It's weird to me that they just
continue. I want to hear your point for sure.
I just don't like that they were like, well, let's not establish our own commission and have our own fucking rules. Let's just go by theirs. But it's like, in a way, it makes sense. But with football, it's like, okay, we have an NFL. The NFL has their own athletic commission. They're going to test their own players. But the problem with that is now that is run by the fucking league, and the league can go, oh, hey, we found X amount of whatever in your fucking test. Who cares? Because you're making us X amount of money.
This is why it's, in my opinion, you're better off. And I'm sure there's weak points to having USADA instead of a UFC commission, right?
The problem is you can't regulate certain things. Like, you can't go, oh, like, I don't want you to test for this because, like...
Oh, no, they can.
There's certain
as far
things,
as I know, they can.
because USADA.
I could be wrong on that.
Well,
but-
USADA regulates more than just the UFC, though. Is the
No,
point?
technically they do, but UFC hires them to regulate only things UFC cares about. So like say.
So they would have to have a certain like a separate rule set in a way, like not rule set, but like
I think it's more
criteria for.
Yeah, I think the way it works, and I could be wrong on this. I don't work for either body. This is purely outside research or whatever. But I think the way it works is UFC didn't want to have their own athletic commission that handles testing, because if they did, it would look too shady when certain things happen. So say UFC's commission tests John Jones for a test. He fails. They let him slide.
They do it anyway.
It's sketchy. I was just going to say that, yeah.
So they still do it.
So what makes USADA in theory, like on paper, a good call is the idea that hiring an outside commission is going to remove any chance of fuckery. So if the outside commission
it makes them look
goes... Better. It makes them look better. That's what I'm saying. On paper, it does, because USADA, in theory, is supposed to go, Jones failed for a drug test. We're going public with that, whether you like it or not, and then you guys act however you want, and that's sketchy on you. And that's what the UFC does, and that's where the problem is that when USADA failed Jones, they went public with Jones' failed tests. They did their part, but UFC instantly gave themselves the worst permanent black eye I've seen yet following the sport.
Right.
When they took that info and did zero.
Yeah.
And that still, to me, is on UFC. But the whole thing is sketchy.
I don't know if the NFL can suppress those things or not. I would imagine they can.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
know how often they do.
Because
you do
just
see a lot of
inherently-
steroid pops in the NFL.
You do.
But I imagine there's more than what we're fucking seeing.
I was going to say, cut and dry,
100%.
the NFL, unless you've been caught, they only test you once a year, and they tell you when they're going to test you. That's why
sketchy right away.
That's why it's so annoying being a Cowboys fan when a player fails a drug test, which happens all the time, because they know. I'm pretty sure it's public
But
knowledge.
they don't go back and go, hey, fucking Dorsey Levens, let's go test his old samples. They don't go like, let's test Emmett Smith's old samples. You know what I mean?
Chance.
They don't go back and do that
It
shit.
seems
So-
like USADA was doing that just to try to reinforce their TJ.
That's not. I wasn't. No,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say that the NFL does their own thing.
Sure.
But it's already like at their advantage.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The way the NFL's drug testing system works is at the benefit of the players, and
Sure.
especially at the benefit of the players being able to cheat, because they tell you they're going to test you once a year. So run your cycles all year, but make sure you're
And
clean
it's
for that test.
also-
And then guys still fail because they're dumb as fuck.
It's also a benefit for the league because there's been dozens and dozens of former players that have said, like, yeah, everybody's juicing or everybody's doing like smoking pot before games or doing coke or Adderall, whatever it is. Everybody is doing whatever they can. And
No question.
If like USADA was in control, dude, there'd be nothing. There'd be like
they wouldn't have a choice.
That's the
Have you ever
seen-
they would have a choice.
Have you ever seen Icarus?
Yeah, I love that, dude. That's really important to this discussion.
That movie
which
is
one is
Really
that?
important to this. So
The one with the biking.
Yeah.
Icarus is a documentary that a guy made. I wish I could remember his
it the
name.
Lance Armstrong
Brian
one?
Fogel is his
Brian
name.
Fogel. So he made a documentary. His initial plan was, I'm going to do a cycling race. He was an amateur cyclist, a good one too. He
was going to do it off of steroids.
And he did do it. He did it clean first.
And then he was going to do it
and
on steroids.
got his times, and then he was going to train for a full year doing steroid cycles and still training, and bring in doctors to help him pass the tests, tackle everything that it would take to be a working cyclist.
The documentary ended up being about.
So what happens here is he brings in a Russian guy who reached out to him when he put feelers out and stuff, and this Russian guy was like, "Oh, I can help you pull this off, no question." And then in the middle of this Russian guy getting him on steroid cycles, and he's doing it, and on camera he's doing steroid cycles, he's doing the illegal thing because he's doing it, and in the middle of that, the scandal drops about the statewide, state-funded Russian doping program for their Olympic athletes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the whole shift happens where now this Russian guy who he befriends, who's helping him dope, and he's talking to him, and you realize when you watch the documentary, the guy's a good guy. He's not a shitty guy. He's a doctor. He loves what he's doing, but he's in a tough spot because he's in Russia. And he's in their state.
He's also basically paid to get these guys through it.
His job. They're telling him, you're going to get them through. And even though he's not told this directly, he understands. If his athletes on that are on that Olympic team for Russia, it was the Sochi Olympics.
Yeah.
If his Olympic team fails a test, he's probably fucking dead.
Right.
Because it's Russia. He's probably dead.
Yeah. And they figured out how to they figured out how to switch the samples and shit without
it's
any
crazy,
detection.
man. It's crazy.
Like without breaking
because
the
they're
seals
working with WADA. They're working with the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, and WADA uses their own containers that are like wicked crazy cutting edge containers that can't be broken into.
Yeah.
And the Russian Athletic Commission labs for the Olympic Committee and stuff, they figured out how to get into those containers, and they had like secret tunnels in their labs and shit where they were using them. It's insane, man. It's insane.
It's a crazy
really
movie.
fucking
and they show
mind-blowing crazy.
Now doesn't he come back and stay with Brian Fogel in the States to try and be like, they put him in witness protection?
He runs away. He runs away. He leaves
he
Russia.
Just walks away from
He
it,
leaves
basically.
Russia. His family is held in custody indefinitely in Russia, which is so sketchy, dude. And he's in America being under protective custody, and he's informing for WADA. He's telling them everything. It's crazy. You gotta,
he basically exposes the whole thing.
You gotta watch it, man.
It's really interesting.
It's so nuts.
But it goes to show, like, there's a lot of shit that can go on behind closed doors in those fucking...
that you'll never hear about. You'll never hear about it. Yep. And
oh, go ahead.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
I was just saying, my favorite documentary I've seen recently is Rats.
Never seen it.
I want to see that. It's literally about rats. Yeah.
It's about how, like, there's like 5 parts. I think it's on Netflix. It's fucking great. You should watch it.
You'll never know. So real quick, when you said rats, I never even for 1 second thought, oh, it's just a documentary about fucking rats.
Yeah.
Because with documentaries, they can call it like...
They'll call it like...
fucking Boogeyman. And it's about a serial murderer from the 50s.
Yeah, you were thinking like...
I thought it was about the
rats,
fucking
like
Boogeyman.
A fucking like...
No, no, I heard rats and I went, this could be about tornadoes for no good reason. You never know. It's just a name. Documentaries get stupid names all the time.
Rats is like the rural American tornado survey.
Yeah, you don't... rural American tornado surveyors. Yeah. You don't know.
No, it's about...
so it's about rats.
It's literally about rats. There's like 5 parts. The first one's New York City.
But shit.
The whole documentary...
That's got to be crazy.
It's wicked good. The whole documentary is narrated by this fucking... like 60-something-year-old Italian guy smoking a cigar.
It's basically Ratatouille.
It's amazing.
It's Ratatouille. Fucking.
Of course it is.
It's like the first part is New York City, and the guy used to be he's a multi-millionaire exterminator from New York City.
Oh.
And so the first part is all about how many rats there are in New York City and shit, and then it goes from like New York City to England and how they use like Yorkshire Terriers to hunt down all the rats in their fields.
Crazy.
And then in India, they go to like the slums of India, and it's actually like it's a big time job to be a rat hunter because they spread so much disease throughout the slums.
Well, rats are responsible for so much disease.
And then
that's all they do is carry disease.
Where was the Khmer Rouge? Cambodia?
I don't fucking know.
I think it was Cambodia because they talked about the Khmer Rouge and how Pol Pot.
So.
Pol Pot had a special division in his militia that was literally just to kill rats because they were,
it's great, dude.
Yeah,
rats
and then
are.
There's a guy, like one of the richest guys. It is Cambodia. One of the richest guys in Cambodia is actually a guy that traps and exports rats to Japan some Eastern Asian country.
Okay.
And it's like a delicacy there.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any rats there. So like,
No. Yeah.
like one of those islands doesn't have a lot of rats.
I don't know that it's Japan. I don't know.
I don't remember what it is, but it is awesome. You would love it. It's fucking disgusting.
I'm gonna have to watch
though.
that. That interests
It's brutal. It's brutal too. Like you actually watch like them get bashed to death and shit. like Charlie Kelly's there with a hammer.
That's whatever. But just I don't know, man. I'm such a big fan of documentaries and just learning about anything crazy going on in the world.
Yeah.
Anything that's like, no way. And rats are like that. So like New York City, rats are a really big issue.
They outnumber.
I know people that have lived there, and it's nuts. There's like 2 rats for every 1 person or some weird shit.
Easily.
It's crazy.
Probably more than that.
I can't even imagine being a guy that works in the sewage system in New York City and is down there seeing what the fuck is down there.
Yeah. How
It's
about
gotta be
don't
nuts.
work in the sewage system
Yeah, just
anywhere?
don't work in sewage. What are you doing?
That's
I
so
get it.
funny.
People have to.
Yeah.
Like there has to
Somebody's
be
gotta
those
do it.
workers. So I just hope they get paid well.
Yeah, they damn well better, dude.
Well, extermination, working as an exterminator. Like if you work for Orkin and Oswego or whatever, I'm sure it's probably not that bad of a job. I don't know the
Right.
details. It's probably an okay gig. You probably make okay money, probably better than minimum wage, probably have insurance and stuff, and it's whatever. But if you're an exterminator in a place like New York City where it's like every day you're getting woken up at 3 a.m. for
Yeah.
emergency calls,
You're also part of like
you're
a
probably
small
making crazy
militia.
money. Yeah,
Like
you're
it's
probably
like a
making
ton
crazy
of people.
money. Especially because in Oswego, name one Michelin-rated restaurant, one Michelin star restaurant. Name one in Oswego. Name one within 500 miles of us.
I totally
Go ahead.
I totally
Yeah.
missed.
You know what I mean?
What's a Michelin restaurant? I'm sorry.
Michelin is like a. I don't know a lot of details about this. Michelin is a rating system for restaurants.
Yeah.
And they give you
it's-
stars, and the different amount of stars you have means different things.
the closest
and,
one is definitely.
It's like the
New York City,
But
right?
New York City has Michelin-rated
It's,
restaurants.
There's
Yeah.
one in there's Chicago,
it's like the
New
Nielsen
York City,
ratings
and
for
San
fucking
Francisco.
restaurants.
That's
Yeah.
basically it. That's the only ones that matter.
Michelin-rated restaurants where? Because there's a bunch in the United
Just-
States.
There's a few other ones, but it's mostly just Chicago, New York City, San Francisco.
New York City, yeah.
Yeah. You're
Is
better
11
off just
Madison
checking
Park
Yelp.
Michelin-rated? See if in New York City,
Yeah, it
11
is.
Madison. It is?
Yeah.
One of my best friends ever worked there for years, Justin Congdon. He's a local Oswego guy.
Okay, yeah.
He's incredible, man.
remember
He's such an incredible chef.
Really?
I
Where-
love Justin.
In
yeah.
New York?
Well, he lives in Washington State now, I believe, with his fiance Sam.
Jesus, I didn't even know
he's a
Google's
great guy.
Price rating
Such a great guy.
went up to 4.
I don't think I met him.
I don't know, man.
Maybe I did.
When you were a freshman, I believe he was a senior. Him and I would have been seniors.
My God.
So you
So
would have
maybe-
seen
maybe I
him,
did,
but but he was one of my best friends for so long. I love Justin so much. And he, after high school, he went to Paul Smith Culinary Institute up in the Adirondacks. He's a 46er. He's climbed all 46 high peaks of the Adirondack Mountains.
That's cool.
And I don't remember if it's 11 or something. I think 11 of them you have to bushwhack. There's no plotted trails. You just
Right.
have to
You
go.
just have to go.
handle
It
it.
is. It is over $60 a plate at 11 Madison Park.
Oh, you guaranteed, yeah.
That's
That place
insane.
is incredible. Never got a chance to eat there while he was working there. Not even close.
Let's go right now.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
But I have gone down to New York
My
City
van
and
won't
visited
make it,
with him.
dude.
I've seen him in New York City.
If my van can't get to Syracuse, we ain't getting there.
Stace and I went to New York City, God, I don't know, it had to be years ago now. But Stace and I went to New York City and we hung out with a college friend of hers. And then we met up with Justin because he was living in like Brooklyn at the time, working at 11 Madison, a fucking Michelin
Hopefully
restaurant. Dude.
He had to have been making so much money because
I don't know.
that shit.
I don't know if he
if
was.
you're living in New York, you're making.
He was
bunch of
living with a
money.
bunch of people, though, I think.
You pretty much have.
I don't
Bunch
know.
of
I'd have to
rats.
ask
He was
him
living
about
with
it.
a bunch of
but-
rats too, probably.
But either way,
Yeah, he's definitely living with rats.
he's the only
Rats
dude I
everywhere.
know. He's the only guy I know that's broken into that world.
And that's the only girl I know that's broken both her legs.
Yeah, that's not.
Why is that still up there?
I know somebody who's broken both their legs, but not like that. That's insane.
I don't know why it's still up there. I thought I took
She's
it down
just
like
sitting
20
there,
minutes
like,
ago.
fucking with 2 broken legs.
Crying and shit.
She's been sitting there with 2 broken legs.
Just looking, going, my career's over.
That was actually playing. That was actually playing the whole time. That's actually live footage.
But think
Still
about
sitting
that,
there.
dude. Yeah,
Still sitting there. What is she
and,
gonna do? Get
like,
up?
She's crying.
She's not gonna
because
stand up.
Of course, it hurts, right? But she's also looking at her legs, going, "I'm done.
It
I'm
probably
done doing gymnastics. There's
the
no
thing
way.
is, like,
There's no way to come back from that. Are
You
you
probably
kidding
don't
me?
even. She probably didn't even feel it though.
No, it's just instant shock. But you're looking at it, going, "Oh, my knees
That's
are done."
what freaks you the fuck out.
Yeah. Yep. She's probably crying because she's going, I don't feel anything, but I know something went horribly wrong. And she probably felt the pop just go through her whole body.
Yeah.
And then was like, oh, man, this is bad. And is looking down, seeing her legs done, and is just thinking to herself, yep, gymnastics.
I've never broken
over.
anything that extreme, so what the fuck is he doing over there?
I don't know, but I don't.
All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll come back.
Sure, yeah.
ClearShotsPodcast.com is where you'll find links to everything we do. You can check us out on Twitter at ClearShotsPod. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and check us out on Periscope for live videos. If you have anything you want to ask us, send us an email at clearshotspodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time.